Now I gotta ride or die.
We're interrupting today's video to give a massive thank you to today's sponsor, Yes Auto. Yes Auto is the one-stop shop for buying any car, with an experience that's always easy and enjoyable. Navigating onto the website, you can select each brand that you want to look at, each model, and even down to colour variant. You can also select through the images, as well as looking at brand new cars in 360 degrees inside and out. I myself spend a lot of time just looking at cars for sale, so it's awesome to jump on the Yes Auto website to have a look at cars for sale. You can even do a smart search on new and used cars with an option to select cash price or monthly costs. Their aim is to make car buying easy and enjoyable. Yes Auto are the one-stop shop offering a simple, impartial way to configure and compare new and used cars from almost any manufacturer, with a whole load of clever tools and media content for total reassurance. Once again, a huge thank you to Yes Auto for sponsoring today's video. There is a link in the description to the Yes Auto website. Thank you so much again to Yes Auto for sponsoring today's video, but let's get back to the action. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to delve back on eBay and give ourselves a cap of £5,000 to spend on a sports car. This is again a game I love to play. I pretty much spend most of my time at the moment sat on eBay, Auto Trader, Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, just looking at cars for sale. So I thought, just like the last video, we would jump back on eBay and see what is around for £5,000. Now, a sports car to me needs to be manual, it needs to be convertible, but it still could be a coupe styled car, and of course I would like it to be a two-seater to consider it as a sports car. But as ever guys, leave a comment below and let me know what you would buy for £5,000 that is a sports car. But anyway, let's jump on eBay, see what we can find. Okay, the first one for me is going to be the Porsche Boxster. Now you're probably going to get the first generation Boxster for this money. I think £5 is about right for a Porsche Boxster, especially the first generations. You're probably going to find the 2.7 or the 2.5 for this money, but we'll try and see if we can find a 3.2 litre S model. That would be quite a good shout. So, and again, we're just very general about what we're doing. We're doing, you know, a nationwide search for as many cars as we can find underneath that £5,000 budget. And as you can see, there is a fair few coming up already. Now there's a 2.5, again, manual, not too bad, 115,000 miles. That's not a bad shout. Blue with the sort of creamy, sort of funny tan interior that they do in pretty much most blue Porsches, I'm convinced. If it's not grey in a blue Porsche, it's probably going to be this sort of caramel tan interior. That is not bad for the sake of £3,500. Let's have a quick look through. Part X to clear, so you know the seller is motivated, he wants to get rid of it. Part service history, again, I think with a lot of these more high mileage, older cars that are available, especially on part exchange to clear on a lot of big lots, you are very much in your favour to get that, maybe even cheaper than it's up for at the moment, because at the end of the day they've come on to Auto Trader, eBay, and have actually seen how much they are and then just priced them under what other ones are. So the next one up is an automatic, which is not really what I would be after. I'd be after a manual one at this sort of price point if I could, but again, still quite a genuine nice little car there. We'll go back, we'll come up a little bit and see if we can get over. See, there's a 2.7 litre silver, £4,500, 101,000 miles. I know these Boxsters are a little bit controversial in the sense that not a lot of people seem to like them. I personally really wanted one when I was about 22. I really wanted one. The insurance was really cheap at the time, considering other sort of sportier cars at the time. Silver with the nice wheels, 2.7 litre manual, 101,000 miles. I don't think that's a bad shout for the money. Obviously, all of these cars will have their own problems. I think the Boxsters, especially from this era, I think because the radiators are at the front of the car, literally on the front bumper, they seem to break a lot, which is a bit of a shame. We'll go right up and see if we can find Lovely red one there. 2000 reg, manual, 4995. I think for me, the Guards Red, if this is Guards Red, which it looks like it is, would be the one. I quite like the interior, the Alcantara and leather. Yeah, that's a very nice looking car, that is, for the money. For again, 5 grand. If you had 5 grand to spend on a summer toy, you would be laughing at this sort of price point with these sort of cars. I really think you'd get your money's worth in a car that's this good. Oh, here we go. 183,000 miles. It's been to the moon and back. Wow. So 3.2 litre. Let's just see if it's a... Yep, it's a manual 3.2 litre in blue with the black, yes, full black leather. Lovely seats in the 3.2. Can you see it's a little bit more bucket than the ones we've just looked at? 183,000 miles. That has been very much enjoyed. Now again, I'm very down to how you want to spend your money on what sort of price point and all that sort of stuff, but if it's had a good service history and it drives really well, that might be a good shout. I'm not saying you should go and buy a 183,000 mile Porsche Boxster, but at least there is one on here, a 3.2 litre for that money. But I think the general consensus is you will be able to buy a 2.7 litre manual with some good service history, probably around 100,000 miles for that 5 grand. So that is my number one. Now number two for me would be the Mark II or some sort of MX-5. Now you're going to be able to get a turboed one, I think, for this money. So let's find out. Let's find out if we can find an MX-5 turbo for around £5,000. I do see them creep up a lot for that sort of money. I do, again, if you didn't want a turboed one, you could get one for about £1,000. We built one, or at least built one for the channel before it got written off. But yeah, you can probably buy a well-kitted one if you wanted to spend 5 grand on an MX-5. So let's have a look. First one that comes up is £3,850, and nice picture of the dyno there. First, straight in there with the, yes, this is a performance car. I like that. So yeah, not too bad. Again, it is a Mark II. I'm a Mark I fan, power headlights, you know how it is. But that's got some gear on it. It's got some nice bits on it. It's obviously had a lot of engine work done to it. Not too bad. 257 horsepower, that is. I bet that goes like a right rocket. So, another one. MX-5, shout out. First picture you've got is you on the track sideways. Why not? This one's got loads of stuff on it again. Corbo bucket seats, intercooler. A nice little car, 4 grand, but you can make them an offer. So again, you could get this car cheaper if you so wish to. It's got a Saab TD04 on it. Not bad. Again, this one's circa 275 brake horsepower, torsion, LSD, 4 grand. So that's not a bad shout. Mark 1 is the one, in my opinion, that's the one I'd go for. Cup 1, well, there's only one Mark 1 turbo for sale. The next one up is a Phoenix edition Mark 2. Not bad, not bad. Looks like it's got quite a nice set of interior in it. Yeah, look at that with the Nardi steering wheel, brown interior. That's not too bad. Running about 220 to 230 brake horsepower. Brand new turbo kit, cost of £3,000. So again, 3 grand plus your 5. Yeah, that's about right. Again, I do think you could probably build one of these for the money that they're asking. So you're not going to lose your money in them, which is quite nice. I would probably go back, and although it's got an abusive picture as the first picture that comes up, but hey, it's an MX-5, it's had a life. That would probably be the one I'd go for, mainly because it's the only Mark 1 that's for sale at the moment. Turboed. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good shout. 4 grand, you'll have so much fun in that car. Just looking again, this one's actually got forged pistons, forged rods, ported flow head, like it's got everything on it. But yeah, I'd say this sort of price point, you could buy a Mark 1 or a Mark 2, any sort of variant of the older MX-5s and actually turbo them yourself for this money, or you could just go and buy one that's had all the money, all the gear put on it at the moment. As you can see, there is one there for 4 grand. I'd probably say that's the one I'd go for in this list. My number 2 would be that one. Right, so number 3 is going to be a car that I actually tried to buy before my pickup truck. Now, you guys may or may not remember I had a Dodge D100 pickup truck. I actually went and test drove an S2000. Now, there'll be a lot of people out there who'll be like, why did you buy the S2000? At the time, considering how much they were to modify, I couldn't find a really decent, nice version for, you know, 5 grand that I wanted to pay for one. So I've actually been in this situation where I've actually delved into trying to buy one of these cars. The S2000 was really, it was just a funny one. There were so many out there that were either silly expensive, like I'm talking way overpriced for what they are, or they were destroyed. There was no in the middle. I could not find at the time an in the middle car. So today, jumping on eBay, S2000, the only, I think the cheapest one on here is £6,489. I do believe that these cars have gone up in price. Your money is very safe in one of these as well. I do believe that they are on the up and up. They're not, you know, Honda's not going to make another car like this, I don't think. So that really does factor into second-hand prices, I think. So you could easily get one of these for about 3 or 4 grand. Now, the cheapest one is an 06 plate black one. Again, this is an, I think this is an AP2, and please correct me in the comments below. This would be an AP2 on the 06 plate. Black leather with red bits in it. And again, I've just seen the mileage, it's 176,000 miles. Now, that isn't a bad thing for Hondas. I think they go forever if they're maintained properly. And wow, so looking at, so this is the cheapest one on eBay at the moment. Black Honda S2000, engine light on, misfiring on cylinder 2, Pyrex to clear. That is horrendously expensive. Yes, it's an 06 plate, it's one of the later models. That is horrendously expensive for that car. Okay, we'll move on because, oh, that's just silly. That's way overpriced for what it is. So, here we go. We're on a Y plate, so it'll be an AP1, if I remember correctly, AP1, which is the more desirable one, I would say, to actually buy in the S2000s. This one, black leather, looks relatively clean for its mileage. It's even got pictures of underneath, which is a really good shout. I mean, there are not a lot of convertible owners, you know, Mark 1, MX-5 owners especially, would take pictures of underneath their car on the sale. That would be down to you when you go and have a look at it. This has had a lot of underseal on it. I'm not saying it's perfect, but again, oh, it's got a set of track tyres with it. Look at that. £6,750, 3k spent in the last year. It's got, again, 139,000 miles. That wouldn't necessarily put me off. And yeah, loads of bits on it. Receipts. And it's had 15 hours of welding. So that means it's been looked after. I'm not really sure. You could take that as you wish with that one. If it's already been done to a high standard, good times. So this is the colour scheme I wanted to go for when I was looking at them. It's like the Silverstone Grey, I think it's called. Again, leave a comment below if I'm wrong. This one has a private plate with it, but it has the full red leather interior, which is a really good shout. I loved these for the fact that you could hide away the radio with the little flap, and then you could just be sort of the only person in the car and all the buttons around you. It's such a cool driving experience in S2000. Looks relatively clean. Example, again, if you're after a convertible, the obvious thing is to just double check roof. You don't want to be going and put another roof on it when, you know, summer is over and you realise it's absolutely destroyed. I think other than that one, 116,000 miles, they start to, you know, you're at 7 for a one on bidding, and then they get out of control again where they're 9 grand. £9,000, 53 plate. I'm not saying they're not worth that, just it's well out of our budget today. So again, I was in this same position. I did look for ages. I found one for about £4,300, black with red interior, 150,000 miles at the time, but it had a full extensive service history. It looks like at the moment that sort of car won't come up under 6 grand. If you could find one for 5 grand, if that is your budget, the Honda S2000 is a really, really good shout. So next up is the 350Z. Now it's a 2-seater, rear-wheel drive manual car. I deem it to be a sports car, but again, that is completely up to you guys. So we will put into the eBay search 350Z. Now this is another car that a lot of people seem to be going and buying at the moment, and I can see why. I've driven a few of them. My friends have had them. They're a really, really good laugh, and I think they're the lowest they're ever going to be at the moment. I don't think they're going to get any cheaper than what they are at the moment. So we'll go with the first one that's an actual car that's actually for sale for an actual price, because bidding, it could be sort of any money. I'm not going to go for the Roadster. I'm just going to say I prefer the hardtop. The hardtops I do feel command more money as well. So we'll go for the first one. It's an automatic. So we're going to go back because we want a manual version of this car. We don't want an automatic. And again, just like that, we are sort of outpricing ourselves, which I didn't believe would happen that quickly. Let's just have a look. This one's £5,250 on an 05 plate. Wheels are a bit, headlights again have been changed, which isn't a bad thing. You know, you could sell them on, get some standard ones in there if you so wish to. It's got the caramel interior, I'm going to say, because it's not quite tan, is it? It's sort of like a funny caramel. 102,000 miles. Let's just have a little nose. Factory LSD, which is again what you want in one of these, in my opinion. They drive fantastic with the factory LSD in the back. So that's not a bad car. We have a gold one now, which I think the 350Z wears gold so well. I can't understand the gold with the like caramel interior. I think I'd go for the black interior, but it does suit itself very, very well in that sense. Lovely colour though. This one looks like it's very well looked after. It's very clean. What sort of mileage are we at? 94,000 miles. So again, not a bad shout. Manual 6-speed, amazing edition, drives faultlessly. Yeah, that's not a too bad. Again, we're just over our £5,000 mark there. Again, I think Facebook Marketplace, you may be able to get one cheaper. Let's just reel it back and look at stuff that's under £5,000. So, I'll go for the first one that's here. It is a convertible, but it's a manual. If you can get away with owning a convertible one of these, then shout out to you. Yeah, that's not a bad car for the money. £3,897. 118,000 miles, and again we'll just briefly go through the ad. Not too bad if you want a convertible one. This black convertible one, I would say, it was 158,000 miles though. Again, it's not a problem. You just want to make sure that the what it says it is on the tin, where it's been, you know, enjoyed but used properly but maintained properly at the same time, if that makes any sense. Yeah, again, not a bad car. Convertible black with that. Well, this one's actually got caramel with black interior, so try and get one with the LSD in the back. Manual, definitely get a manual one. But yeah, I think £5,000 is a good shout for that. Now, last but no means least is the Audi Tt. Now, I personally owned an Audi Tt for my third car when I was 21. It was a 225 manual, 4-wheel drive. It was a fantastic car. So it's actually come up as a related search. So let's have a quick nose. There will be a lot of 225 Mark 1s out there for, you know, sub £2,000. So if your budget's £2,000, what we're going to do today is actually go down, because I know you can get these cars, especially the Mark 1s, a lot cheaper than our £5,000 budget. So let's try and go for an 06 plate and up, so a Mark II Audi Tt, because I do feel you would be able to get a Mark II for that money. I think they started in 2006. I may be shooting high there or shooting low, we're not too sure, but let's have a quick nose through. Yeah, so you can get a 2006 first generation Mark 1. So let's just knock off those couple of searches there. Let's take off the 2006. We'll start at 2007. So 2007 being the entry year of the Mark II. Now, I have seen a decline in prices on these, so it either means if you paid a lot of money for the car, you're losing that value or residual value or whatever you want to call it at the end of, say, your finance agreement, or if you put cash down, you've lost a bit. But as a buyer, fantastic time to buy, because I do feel that there is a lot of them out there for not a lot of money. So we'll go past the ones that are damaged and just the cars you don't really want to buy. Yes, you could buy a damaged one, it doesn't really matter. The first one that comes up, we'll have a little nose at this one because it's caught my eye, but it is very high mileage, 169,000 miles. Again, that's high mileage for our budget, I feel. You could get, for £5,000, you could get a lower mileage one. This one though, grey, sort of, really nice colour actually, but it's got the red leather, which is a shout. That's a really nice colour. Definitely looks worn inside though. It's definitely done all of that 169,000 miles. We'll go down a bit more. Again, we'll look at cars that are physically for sale right now that aren't damaged. Rare manual, 3.2 litre V6. Now, I went for a 1.8 turbo one, Mark 1. These come in the 2 litre TFSI, same as the Mark 5 Golf GTI, Mark 6 Golf GTI, all that sort of stuff, if I remember correctly. This is a 3.2 litre, so I'm not going to say it's the same as an R32, because it's not, but it shares the same sort of dynamics as one of those, but you can't get any power out of them. That's the biggest problem. And the tax, if I remember, the tax is about £500 a year on a car like that. So yes, it's a rare manual 3.2 litre V6 version. I personally would go for a more economical 2 litre that you can get more power out of, that is less to tax, probably less to insure as well. Again, if you are an owner of any of these cars, leave a comment below. Leave a comment below. We like to chat on this channel. So let's go down and have a little nose. 117,000 miles, 58 plate. Is it a turbo diesel one? Now, if I'm looking for something that I'm going to enjoy, yes, on a daily basis, but you get me here, there and everywhere, the TDI would be a good shout, but it's not really what we're here for. We're after a petrol turbo manual, 130,000 miles for a 3,995. Again, this is a banging car for £4 grand, it really is. And nice blue, looks clean, looks like it's got a nice interior, no pictures though, unless they're in the ad. Yeah, so nice set of pictures. Interior, not too bad. Is it written off? No. So 130,000 miles for that one at £4 grand. Again, we're saving £1,000 there if your budget is, you know, around £5 grand. Let's try and go for a really nice black and red, 104,000 miles, £4,295, 57 plate. That is a shout. The colour combo of the black with the red leather is a shout. It's a manual. It is a petrol manual. 104,000 miles. Absolutely nothing on here to tell me what it is or what's going on with it. But yeah, £4,000, not too bad. That is a fantastic car. You get a lot of power out of them. They're comfortable. You can't really get people in the back. It's all a lie. Trying to get people in the back of an Audi TT is a nightmare. And I think it would be relatively reliable for what it is. So yeah, I would say my number 5 would be a Mark II Audi TT. So there we go, guys. 5 cars that I would look to buy at a £5,000 price point if you're after a sports car. Of course, there's many other cars out there, and I do think if you had a really good look around, went on Facebook Marketplace, or you didn't mind too much mileage and service history and stuff, you could find any of these cars a lot cheaper than I have found today. But thank you so much for watching. If you did like this style of video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below and let me know what you would buy for £5,000. That is sports car related, and I'll see you all on the next one.